What is going on, YouTube fam? Welcome to another Jonathan Dearman Show. And today we are talking about some big news. And that is that Supreme Court Justice RBG Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away last week, 6 weeks before a presidential election. Now, this is a huge deal. If you thought 2020 was crazy already, well, this just stokes that fire and the divide between Republicans and Democrats, the left and the right, the liberals and the conservatives. And so I'm going to touch on that. But before I do, if you're new around here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We come out with videos every single week talking about controversial topics, current events, reacting to videos, and more. And also, as you can see, I don't have my wedding ring on today. Before I get any direct messages, I just want to say everything's good there. I just unfortunately dropped it in the ocean. It was only like a $7 rubber one, and I haven't gotten a chance to put the replacement on yet. So don't worry about that. So today, again, we're talking about the fact that Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. Now, first of all, whenever someone passes away, the first thing we want to do is give our condolences to their friends and their family, of course. Always tragic when you have a loss in the family or somebody that you know, and so my heart does go out to them. Now, with that being said, for conservatives, not talking about her dying, but for conservatives, being able to fill the Supreme Court seat is a huge opportunity. And for liberals, this is like the worst case scenario. Now, Ruth Bader Ginsburg was considering retiring under Barack Obama, but didn't end up retiring, primarily probably because she thought in 2016 that Clinton was going to be elected and that she would retire during Clinton's presidency. So she was holding out for that, but obviously didn't go that way in 2016. And so now you have Trump as president, and she passed away 6 weeks before the election. As you can probably guess, conservatives are jumping at the opportunity to fill the seat, and liberals are going crazy about it because, in case you don't know, the reason why it's such a big deal is because unlike many elected areas, Supreme Court justices stay on the Supreme Court for the rest of their life or until they retire, and most don't until a very old age. So if President Trump were to put on somebody that's 45 or 50 years old, it's possible that the Supreme Court justice could be on there for another 40 years. And so it is a big deal. Also, currently, the way the Supreme Court leans is there are 9 Supreme Court justices, 5 that lean conservative and 4 that lean liberal. And John Roberts is one that leans conservative, but he's kind of finicky and it's a little hard to predict. So he's somewhat of a swing vote. But this would take it to 6 that lean conservative and 3 that lean liberal. So it is a big deal. As you can guess, there are some people that are not excited about this at all.
I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Could this year get any worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021!
So obviously not everyone is reacting to that extreme, but I bet you there are a lot of people that are feeling that way internally. What it looks like is going to happen here. Years ago, the Democrats had used what's called the nuclear option, and that's where instead of needing 60 votes to appoint a judge, all you need is 51, the simple majority. And so they used that years ago, and Republicans used that in the last placing of the Supreme Court justices. And so they're going to be using that again. The Republicans do have the majority in the Senate, so they can drive it through. Now, some people are saying that possibly Mitt Romney wouldn't be on board, along with a few other Republicans. I believe where we stand is that there are a couple Republicans that have already said that they will not vote to put a Supreme Court justice in, but that they would prefer to wait until after the election. Mitt Romney just signaled that he will vote for the Supreme Court justice that Trump nominates. And so it's looking like they're going to have the votes to put on a new Supreme Court justice. President Trump also just announced that he's going to be letting us know on Saturday who the nominee is that he's chosen. This is one of the biggest deals that could possibly happen 6 weeks before an election. And as you can imagine, it is heated. In case you remember the whole Brett Kavanaugh situation, how could you not, right? With all that went down there, this also will be a crazy time while this Supreme Court justice is being nominated and voted into the Supreme Court. And here's something else that's thrown into this. That's that Obama nominated a Supreme Court justice, and Mitch McConnell did not take a vote on it to get the Supreme Court justice in. Part of the reason why was because because they were waiting for the 2016 election to happen so that they could see if there would be a Republican president, that they could put in a justice that they wanted that leaned conservative instead of liberal. And a lot of people are saying that these are double standards. The current perspective of people on the left is that this is the definition of hypocrisy. And the current perspective of people on the right, what I've heard coming out from people on the right is that the difference is that the Senate majority was Republican when Obama was president. So it was the opposite party that led the Senate. And now it's the same party with President Trump. The Republican is still the majority of the Senate. And so that is the reasoning given. Now, there have been, I believe, 29 justices that were elected during a presidential election year. And so it's not uncommon to have that. And I do understand both sides here. I can understand why the left feels like that's hypocritical to do that. And I do understand what the right is saying as well, that it is a different scenario because it's not the opposite party in the Senate as the president. So there's really no obligation to move forward with somebody that has principles that they disagree with. And I'll leave it up to you as to if you think that's a different scenario or not. And in fact, I'd love to hear in the comments what you think about that. That's where we stand there. Also, it looks like Republicans are going to win here. Now, Democrats are threatening that if that's what's going to happen, that if Joe Biden wins the presidency, one of the things that they're going to try to do is stack the courts. And so add more judges in there, particularly leaning liberal, that will then swing it back to the liberal side. Now, that in and of itself would be a huge deal. Stacking the court is different. It is different than squeezing a Supreme Court justice in during the same year as a presidential election. It is different because you're not doing, first of all, what's already been done. You're doing something new, and that is stacking the court in your favor. That will be a huge issue, whether that's Democrats that do that if Joe Biden gets elected or Republicans that do that in the future. Adding more justices and stacking the court to favor your side will not go down well. If you think that Texas and Alabama and conservative states are going to stand for Democrats being in power and just adding Supreme Court justices to lean the direction that they want, you're probably mistaken, because I think that will cause a divide in our country that may not be fixable. And so I'm really interested to see where we go from here. I'm really interested to see how people are going to react. I'm really interested to see how this all plays out, because my prediction is it's about to get crazy. That's my prediction. And it's already been a crazy year, but it's not slowing down here. And also, probably the biggest issue that people are concerned about when talking about getting new judges on the Supreme Court is the abortion issue, Roe versus Wade. I'm going to be coming out with a video talking about my opinion on Roe versus Wade, if I think it's going to be overturned, if Trump does get a new Supreme Court justice in, and what exactly that would mean if it does get overturned. And so I'll be coming out with a new video there. So make sure you stay tuned and catch that video by hitting the subscribe button. And again, I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. Do you think that the Supreme Court seat should be filled, or do you think we should wait until after the election? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. Again, a crazy, crazy season. Love you all. Appreciate you. And I'll see you at the next Jonathan Dearman Show. Peace out.